Chapter 2, Mishnah 1. The Jewish communities outside of Jerusalem would collect the Shekalim from all the people in the town and send them to the temple in Jerusalem. The Mishnah discusses the laws of transporting the collected Shekalim. We now turn to the words of the Mishnah. Townspeople who are sending their Shekalim to Jerusalem are permitted to change the silver Shekalim into gold coins called darkonos, so as to lighten the burden of carrying so many coins all the way up to Jerusalem. After the darkonos arrive at the temple treasurers must convert them back into Shekalim at the expense of the temple. The Mishnah teaches that even so, it is permitted for the townspeople to convert their Shekalim into darkonos to ease the burden and cost of transporting so many coins to Jerusalem. The Mishnah now turns to the collection of Shekalim in Jerusalem itself. The Mishnah below in chapter 6, Mishnah 5, teaches that 13 collection chests stood in the temple courtyard, each with a different purpose, so that anyone who visited the temple could make his contributions to the appropriate fund. As related there, one of these chests was designated for the deposit of the annual shekel collection, the Mishnah teaches. Just as there were collection chests in the temple for people to put shekalim into, so too there were collection chests in the city of Jerusalem. Those Jews who were tameh, and thus forbidden to enter the temple, were able to put their shekalim into the collection chests spread throughout Jerusalem. The Mishnah returns to the laws of transporting the shekalim to the temple. If the townspeople sent their shekalim to the temple with messengers, and the coins were stolen or lost along the way, the law is as follows. To be exempt from paying, the messengers must swear to the owners that they were not negligent in guarding the shekalim. Who are the shekalim's owners? The Mishnah explains. If the terumah for buying new offerings had already been taken from the shekalim in the temple chamber before that theft or loss occurred, the shekalim were already the property of the temple at the time of the theft or loss, and the messengers must therefore swear to the temple treasurers that they were not negligent in guarding the shekalim. The townspeople do not have to contribute shekalim a second time, since the shekalim are considered to have reached the temple once the terumah has been taken. But if the terumah had not yet been taken from the temple chamber at the time the theft or loss occurred, so that the shekalim were still considered to be the property of the townspeople when they were stolen or lost, the messengers must swear to the townspeople that they were not negligent in guarding the shekalim, and the townspeople must contribute new shekalim in place of the missing ones, since their contribution never reached the temple. The Mishnah explains what happens if the missing shekalim are eventually found. If, after the townspeople contribute shekalim a second time, the missing shekalim were found, or the thieves returned them, both these and those, the original shekalim and the replacement ones, are considered consecrated shekalim and are the property of the temple, even though one set of shekalim is now extra, and the additional shekalim do not count for the townspeople for the coming year's collection. Rather, the townspeople still have to contribute toward the next year's shekalim collection.